Class of 2023, what hanging out with a bunch of 17/18-year-olds taught us.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Our world's changed.
Yeah.
Our world has changed. Your world has changed, will change.
Yeah, it was yesterday we had our beautiful daughter Jade, who's 17 years of age, graduate from year 12, a school that she's actually been at since she was 4 years old, and has made some incredible friends who she's had the whole way through since she was 4. It's incredible. But just hanging out with them yesterday with these girls,
Big day.
Jade
8 a.m.
was
to
at a
11
girls'
p.m.
school. 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Yes. It was a beautiful day of celebration, but there were so many things that we took away. We want to share that with you, what we learned from these incredible girls. And we say girls because our daughter is at a girls' school. So we were hanging out with 108 girls yesterday, and they're amazing parents. Many friends that we've made along the way as well. But more importantly, our daughter Jade, she'll be horrified by the way that we're doing this. Jade's quite a quiet, it's quite a quiet girl. She's going to literally see our social media and go, "Oh my God, I cannot believe you guys did that."
It's my private life.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. But I tell you what, there were not a lot of phones yesterday, which I picked up on, Mark. Of course, there were photos and all that sort of stuff amongst the girls, but they were really living in the moment.
The parents.
Hey?
Kids,
No, the
parents.
kids.
Yeah.
The kids were really, of course, the parents were, but the kids were really living in the moment.
Yeah.
But, there was so many things that we took away from yesterday, so we want to share that with you and just teach you about our learnings. But Jade's been fortunate, our daughter, because she's had the most incredible experience at school. And not everyone has that. Our oldest daughter had a very different experience, but she has had, one of the most amazing experiences at school. Same buddies since she was 4 years of age.
Do you know what? Australia's a good country.
Yeah.
I think, and I know we're a real estate show, but I think education seems to underpin, health and education, which we all I really take for granted just because it's so good. Do you know what I mean? But education, people are moving different suburbs for education. They will move their work, they'll move their life to be close to a great school for their kids, public or private. And we really witness that because I guess for us it happened by default that, not a lot of thought. I think when you're 20, 25 having kids, 25, 30 having kids, there's not as much weight or gravity or thought on what school you're going to put your kids on, which then anchors off where you're going to live. But we put Jade in school, a phenomenal school. Thing I learnt probably the most out of it is what your kids do is they find like-minded parents. And the way they do that is by finding the like-minded kids. So what actually happened is Jade went out in kindy and year 1 and met a bunch of great little girlfriends that she kept all the way through. And as we met those parents on the way through, we're like, oh, they're really nice people. And you sort of because the kids have got so much in common without realizing at the age of 4, 5, 6, they make the buddies, and then those kids have a lot in common because of the way they've been brought up already.
Yeah, and her buddies, our daughter Jade, we're talking about this morning, because she just graduated school yesterday. Obviously, it's still got the HSC ahead of her, but some of the friends that she made, their parents have now become some of our closest friends over the years. We're talking about 12-year period. But I tell you, there were so many things I took away from yesterday. First of all, these girls are extremely determined. And guys, please understand, our daughter Jade has had the privilege of going to an amazing school. Both Mark and I were in public school, so it doesn't mean...
Cromer High School, Northern Beaches.
I was a public school girl as well. And you know what? And had a great education, but I didn't care a huge amount for school. It was just the sort of kid that I was. And nor did you, Mark, looking at those grades and going back through some of your school reports. I remember, just off the cuff, I remember pulling out one of Mark's school reports. We were going through some photos, and I was reading it out to Jade, our daughter, and she goes, F. What does F stand for? And I said, that would be fail, Jade. That was your school report, Mark. So,
No,
but
my school reports were if reports.
if,
Yeah.
what is that?
If Mark applied himself, he would be very good. If Mark was more focused, he would be very good.
Guess what mine were?
If.
That's so funny. But the school did ask you to come back, Mark, and do a talk on how a school student can fail at school and then become a success later on in life. And also, what's the little plaque that they've got of you in the school?
I don't know.
No, you do. You do.
It's a
What is it? It's a
something about, I don't know. It's something about, I don't know. There was some footballer, there was me, there was someone else of Cromer. I don't know.
yeah. Anyway. There's a plaque of Mark in his school. And then that basically signifies that you can fail at school and you can still be a success in life. So do not let that define you, guys. I'm always saying that. Do not
Gary
let that
V
define
got D's
you.
and F's.
There you go.
Ha!
There you go. So never let that define you. I'm always saying that nothing is impossible. And if you set your mind to stuff, you can do whatever it is that you want to do. It's just how badly do you want it? Now, we've never been those parents that have pushed Jade. We haven't been the helicopter parents. We've just said to Jade, you do you. It's up to you. This is, we've given you the privilege of having a great education. What you choose to do with that is totally up to you. So,
I thought that interesting question I asked her. She was making, we were talking about, doing sort of having a good school life and not having a good school life.
yeah.
And I said, what do you think the common denomination is? Like, is there something as parents that we can do to make kids' school life better? And one thing that she said, which was weird for me,
Yeah.
she said that strict parents, better kids. Non-strict.
Oh my God, I
you hear
heard
that?
that.
She said non-strict parents,
Yes.
kids sort of go off the rails a little bit. That came out of a 17-year-old's mouth.
That was last night. I heard her say that.
Oh.
Yeah, I heard her say that because we were talking about one of the girls, and I said to her, what happened there? She used to be friends with her, and she said, oh no, she went off and started doing stuff that I didn't agree with, and she said, oh, her parents just let her do whatever she likes. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because our eldest daughter, we've got a 25-year-old daughter as well. Growing up, they can't stand it when you put all the rules in place. They can't stand it. But what it provides them with is security and boundaries.
Yeah.
And as parents, like Mark and I have always been absolutely unanimous that they've got to have those.
Who's been the tough one parent? Who's been the tough parent? You.
I think me. I think I've been the tougher one. Well, hang on. No, in saying that, I think you were tougher with our 25-year-old, and I think I've been tougher with Jade, our younger one.
Ooh.
Yeah. Jade will always be like, oh, I'm going to ask Dad. And then Dad says yes to absolutely everything. But, again, let's just draw back, guys. So our daughter, Jade, 17 years of age, just graduated from high school yesterday, a school that she's been at for 12 years. What an incredible bunch of girls. What an incredible bunch of girls. She's at an all-girls school. The head girl got up to do a speech. She actually did two.
Oh, my God.
Now, if you closed your eyes and listened...
It was a presidential speech,
yeah.
but better.
It was just like...
It was more passionate.
Mind-blowing.
It was more intelligent. It was more rounded. I've never heard... That's probably the best speech I've ever heard in my life.
So,
No
17 years of age, and we know the parents really, really well. The parents said when this young lady was awarded head girl, so school captain, for this private girls' school, the parents said, oh, listen, this is her. She signed herself up for it. We've got nothing to do with this. She's on her own with it. We're there, obviously, to support her. But understand, the speech was not written by the parents. The parents are just good, hardworking, beautiful people. But the one thing that I took away from her speech, and the one thing that resonated through this whole day, this whole year, this whole cohort, was the word genuine.
I said the same thing.
That was the word, and that was the context of this young lady's speech yesterday.
I find that was the context of the whole year.
It's phenomenal.
I think,
Absolutely phenomenal.
I think in life, if you can carry that flag, you cannot fail.
No,
I think
I agree.
you cannot fail. I think it'll keep you out of jail. I think it'll better your business. I think it'll improve your relationships and your family.
Yeah,
I think that year that I witnessed for 12 years of, because a lot of them, there was about 30 or 40 of them that actually went through that whole 12 years out of 108 kids. And I think that whole year
together. They went through it together.
together.
Yep.
And I think that the word genuine was what I dubbed that year
And it
to
was
be a
interesting.
successful year, and out there in life.
Couldn't
So
agree more.
what a great banner to
Couldn't agree more.
badge to wear.
And the school agrees as well that it's one of the best years that's ever gone through this beautiful private school. So, and it was interesting because when our daughter, so there were two parts to the day yesterday. One was the actual graduation ceremony, assembly, and then the second part was a dinner last night.
Yeah.
And after the graduation ceremony, we got into the car, we were going out for a beautiful lunch, and I said to Jade, our daughter, what was the one thing that you took away from that speech yesterday, from the head girl, from your school captain? And I said, there was one word that stood out, and Jade nailed it as well. She said genuine. You know, it really, and that is a word.
And so I said it 50 times.
No.
It was just it was the content of the speech that took you to that as well.
And can I just say, guys, that if there's one thing that those girls could take away that we can pass on to anyone that is watching, to pass on to any of your children, it would have to be that one word. I reckon that is hands down one of the most powerful words. You know, if your kids can walk away from schooling and take that with them, just that one word, genuine, I think they've nailed it. I really do.
I think it's better than scoring 99 in a HSC.
Couldn't agree more.
If you've got good positive traits like that. Now, what you're going to do? She's not going to get 99, our daughter.
No, and that's fine.
Unfortunately, she didn't get Lisa's brain. She got mine.
Oh, listen, I wasn't academic at school. I definitely wasn't getting 99.
She's going to be a nurse, guys. Our daughter's going to be a nurse.
Yep. Couldn't be a more fitting career for a beautiful, caring girl. And they were her mentor teachers parting words with her yesterday as well.
Did you ever cry?
Yeah.
How many
There
times?
were tears, definitely tears.
How many times?
You know when you've just got like that lump that just sits in your throat all day and you think, oh my God, I'm literally just going to like be that parent that's just going to blubber? That was me all day.
Very different education to mine.
Yep.
I had a happy education, very different though. What I noticed was they had this year coordinator, this person that hangs around with them for 3 years, and he was a man, but he was like the hero uncle for 108 kids. I thought someone like, to have someone like that by your side, to rely, to confide, to have fun with, and they lauded him. All the 108 girls lauded him. They bought
True
him.
story.
They bought him that thing in
you can buy that little piece of land in Scotland. I've got one of those. By the way, I'm a lady, FYI.
Lady Novak.
Yes, I was gifted a small little 5-cent piece of land in Scotland, and I actually have a certificate on my desk that says Lady Novak.
So if you ever want to, if you ever want a lord or lady with the official title of one of your friends, you can do that. He and the girls had done that for him. But what a beautiful thing.
But can I just say, FYI as well, it's teachers like that, and as Mark mentioned, this is a teacher that was looking after the girls for the last few years of their schooling. They absolutely adored him. They have the utmost of respect for him.
Yeah.
And it's teachers like that that actually do change lives.
Well, I think if you build, nurture, and understand good relationships, you can continue to develop them. But if you don't have those relationships in your school life, I think it's a little bit harder. Good, genuine
You know what else was
relationships.
interesting? I remember leaving school and thinking, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do.
Yes.
I had failed my HSC. I just purely because, much like our daughter Jade, didn't really care too much about being top of the class, enjoyed school, certainly didn't have the experience that Jade had nothing to do with one was a private school, one was a public school.
You went to a public.
I went to public.
Yeah.
Jade went through private, but had nothing to do with that. I just knew I just wanted to get stuck into big life. Like there was little school for me, and then there was big school.
You wanted to take off the training wheels.
Yeah, I just wanted to just get into it, and I always wanted to be a journalist. Went and sat the exam at News Limited to become a journalist, and I was like, of course I'm going to be a journalist. I'd always loved to write.
But you didn't realise everyone else wanted that as well with a degree.
No, I didn't realise I had to have
a degree.
No, I didn't realise I had to know a huge amount of politics. I was 17
And then you
years
became
of
a
age.
property journalist.
Yeah.
Huh.
Interesting, isn't it? But what, can I just say, 108 girls in the cohort, and I reckon there's 100 of those 108 girls that have got their sights set on what it is that they want to be doing when they leave school. I mean, I literally had absolutely no idea where I was going. I just sort of got, went into journalism for about 2 seconds and then ended up becoming a travel agent.
And that was
which I loved.
And that was our class of 23 daughter that's left, and now we're ready for grandkids.
God, not yet. But
real estate this week. Anything else you want to say?
Oh my God, guys, it has been madness out there again. So the continual roller coaster of real estate. I think I've worked things out, Mark. I think I've worked things out. When something changes with the RBA, it takes about 4 to 6 weeks for it to ripple through to the community. And this is what I think I've worked out this pattern, because this week has been absolutely crazy. I think I'm on to my 5th sale this week, and offers on every single property.
On the back of that, I reckon whenever there's change, people abstain. When there's no change and it just like levels out for a while, then people are like, yeah, okay, let's do something. So when there's turbulence, literally in a plane, everyone just goes like that and just does nothing when there's turbulence in the plane. And then when the plane's going nice and smooth, whether it's flying high or low, then people start getting out of their chair doing shit. So properties like
Good
that.
Analogy.
Thank you.
Really good analogy.
Thank you, Liz. You're proud of me for that.
Yeah, I like that.
Thanks.
But it really is a very unusual market still. But guys, it's exactly what I said. Spring is here. Where are all these stock levels? Where are they all? We normally see an enormous dump of property for spring. It's exactly what I said was going to happen. The spring rush came early. The weather was warm. The buyers were out. We're not seeing a lot of stock coming on. Definitely on the northern beaches, we're not seeing this mortgage cliff. We are not seeing it.
No, weird.
And also, I was out with at a function with one of the head people of CBA last week, and she was saying they're writing an enormous amount of investor loans.
Weird. So
it's really interesting.
Something everyone should remember about property is if you're going to get your property in the market, sell your property, and settle your property, you don't have a long time to do it this year.
Christmas has nothing to do. Listen, guys, no.
No, but I'm just saying,
I know,
if you're gonna do a deal in 2023,
okay, but
you've probably got another 2 to 4 weeks to get it on.
Listen, guys, can I tell you something? First of all, it is a really busy time in December for buyers and sellers. It is. Our business has, for 21 years,
and life
has remained open throughout the Christmas New Year period. And guess what the most popular days, the busiest days on realestate.com are of the year?
Christmas Day and the public holidays.
25 and 26 December. They are the busiest days for people going on to realestate.com. So in an area like the Northern Beaches, that is a beautiful place to holiday as well, we get an influx of people. So it tends to be a really busy period still. I mean, I've exchanged a property on Christmas Day.
Yeah. New Year's Eve, we've done it all.
Story.
So if you want to be in your new home, out of your home, and in your new home by 2023, you only got about 2 to 4 weeks to get it done. Otherwise, you're splaying it into January, and that's okay as well because it's nice and busy.
Yeah.
Anything else to say before we go?
Congratulations to our amazing daughter, Jade.
You already said that.
I know, but I want to say it again. I could never say it enough. Very proud parents, very proud parents. And yeah, she's literally the truly beautiful, beautiful girl. Couldn't be prouder. Couldn't be prouder. Do we have any comments there, Mark?
No.
No comments today. Everyone's very quiet, guys.
No, done. Luke was there. A couple of people made comments. Yeah, done.
Beautiful. Guys, have a fabulous, fabulous day and a fabulous weekend. And you'll see us real soon.
Love you. See you. Bye.